Hi, just to start, this was one of the most fun projects I've ever done, and these were like three. I love these movies a lot. Okay, so questions for freedom writers: what aspects from the film connects to our conversations between the world and me and social justice? Just right off the bat, you see oppression, and they talk about opportunities that they don't have, and then that's how we talked about privilege. And then when we went to the tunnel of oppression, there's just people that don't get the same opportunities and that are oppressed, which is sad and not fair. And freedom writers, those kids in the classroom were oppressed in their situations, and they felt that way, and they knew they were. And Miss G felt that way for them. So, in what ways did Miss G advocate for students against the school and other teachers? I don't know why. All the other teachers were so mean. You can tell they were against them, and they were not giving the kids an opportunity. They looked at them and where they come from, and they labeled them, and it was wrong and horrible, and they were not given the opportunity to really learn and get taught. So the school system and the teachers don't want to give these kids an opportunity, and they want them to just either graduate or get out and go to jail or whatever. And obviously, Miss G advocated for them to succeed based on her getting of other jobs and her real care and compassion she had for the kids. How does Miss G use her students' strengths to help throughout the film? We got to see like a few of the strengths that the students had, like when they were on their own, and we saw different things they can do. And then Miss G used that as like such as their writing and their storytelling, and then like as a finale with the Freedom Writers Diary book being published and stuff, and having them actually make that their final project was awesome. Awesome. Discuss how self-segregation was represented in the film. Okay, I'm going to skip that one for now. Um, so our next question is... Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to skip that. Okay. Self-segregation. Segregation is like being held back or separated, and obviously self-segregation is mean they were doing that to themselves on their own. And we saw that with the different kind of groups, like the gangs of different kinds of people in each spot of the schoolyard and in the classroom. So that's how it's represented in the film. How was the Museum of Tolerance utilized in the film? Why did Mrs. Gruelle incorporate this? Sure. So, Museum of Tolerance, I believe that was the Holocaust Museum. I would hope, because I have no idea what else it would be. It's utilized in the film because these kids saw like real other types of oppression and how it ended really badly and terribly for a whole bunch of people, and they realized that she incorporated it because it made them see a bad version of themselves and how, like the ways that their lives could be worse in, such as we saw with the Jews and like Anne Frank and everyone else. So that was that, and she incorporated it to just give them a kind of a mirror in a way, but not obviously as bad, but still the same oppression and same struggles that people had in past times. What ways you see privilege in this film? Well, even the students saw it. Like right when she walked in, they had no respect for her, and they were like, "What does this white woman know about rap?" And like, why do we have to respect you just because you call yourself a teacher? They see her having privilege based on her skin color and her job, and these kids don't have much privilege, especially when it comes to the other teachers and the school board, because of how they are looked at and where they come from. Okay. It's a true story. First in the film, people in the film. What was their lives change? I can't believe Miss G went to go teach at a college at Long Beach State. That's awesome. I feel like she really found herself and found what she loved to do, and then went on another level to go to like a higher education, like which is a college professor, which is awesome. So I don't know, their lives changed. They actually went to college. People had chances, and they graduated, and it was awesome. Okay, for Spotlight, what is the Spotlight team at the Boston Globe? The Spotlight team at the Boston Globe is this group of four or something like that, and they are like a low-key like detective group, not detective group, but they find and cover stories that are secretive and on the down low that they don't want other news like corporations or other people getting word of until their stories are until they publish it and make it knowledgeable for the public. excuse me. In what ways did the team conduct their research? What source types did they, excuse me again, what source types did they utilize? So they did research by talking to people like witnesses, lawyers, victims of all these horrible things, and like people that dealt with it as a way of proving that it happened. And so the source types they used were primary sources, were the victims who dealt with the abuse and the horrible things, along with the lawyers who were secondary sources and heard about it and were there to, this is playing with the finger thing, sorry, were there to try and represent them and make them feel like there was some sort of justice. And they also used like scholarly periodicals, like there were court documents, which are legal documents that have been reviewed and are legit. Okay, what source type is the Boston Globe? The Boston Globe is a newspaper. That is a newspaper, and it is a source type in that way. They print stories and they analyze things. So they're a secondary source and a newspaper. What challenges did the team face? The team faced a lot of challenges. They had people who there were a ton of people that didn't want this knowledge getting out, so it was really hard to get the answers that they needed. And so that was one type of challenge. Another challenge was the amount of power that the church had, and they were at a disadvantage with the power. And so that's another challenge that they faced, along with a lot of people not being cooperative at first. They had to get past that. Like, it was a type of adversity. Okay, what were the real-life implications of the Spotlight team's reporting? At the end of the... All right, sorry, get too excited. Okay, so the real-life implications were thousands and thousands of other victims came forward from different places all over the world and all over the country, and I could not believe the amount of cities in the United States and countries in the world that had similar abuse by priests and just terrible things. And so the issue came to light because of their reporting, and then there was justice as much as could be done, obviously, and people learned and it became public, which is good. Okay, so for Zootopia. This is a good movie too. I told my family to watch it. Okay, so in what ways is the main character Judy discriminated against? She's discriminated against more than one way. First way is she's a bunny, which is a prey animal, and so you heard her a lot being called Carrot or Hops, which is her last name, but she was not given a fair shake, and so she was discriminated against in that way. She is discriminated against because of her size as well. She's a little one, which is, bunnies are small, but she didn't let that stop her. So that is another way she's discriminated against in size and species, or two ways she's discriminated against. And Judy is oppressed by, I think the big animals, the predator species, like some of the big mammals we saw are definitely people that oppress her, and it could be society as a whole, because like the police force, obviously when she was young, like her parents said, there's never been a bunny police officer, and so I think society and the other bigger animals oppress her. Okay, how does Judy's oppression and discrimination translate to our society? I think, although the movie didn't focus on it too much, the fact that she's a woman, she's a woman, and she became a police officer and like one of the best ones and did an amazing job. You can look at in our society as like Hillary Clinton is an example. Obviously not the same. It didn't work out the same in the election, but she's a woman, and politicians are usually men, and Judy is a bunny rabbit, and bunny rabbits are usually farmers and not cops. So she became a cop, and Hillary is a very successful politician. So I think you can look at that in the same way as society. What long-existing stereotypes are discussed throughout the film? That size matters, based on for work and line of work that they're in, that they have to be a certain size, or like you can't be small and be a police officer, along with like, I don't know, you could think stereotypes that you are who you are, like you were born a certain thing and that's all you can be. Like, her parents thought that, everyone thought that, but Judy proved that wrong. And I also noticed that's very relevant in Freedom Writers too, with with Erin's husband. Um, okay, what are some other themes that you noticed throughout the film? I noticed that. Another stereotype is that people change, and not to follow stereotypes. With Nick was a fox. He's a sly guy, but he's a great guy. Like at the end, he's a legend. He did a lot, and so he's one of the heroes of the movie. So you just can't make yourself be one of the stereotypes. You have to break it, and you have to be who you want to be and be yourself without letting who people want you to be and what people see you as being who you are. So things you notice through the film: never give up. Judy never gave up on finding Mr. Otterton, and they fixed him at the end and all the other animals, and she found out where they all were, which is great. Never give up is one theme. Another one is you can be anything you set your mind to, which she was a rabbit, and no rabbits have ever been police officers, and she made her way up. She worked so hard, and she became one. So those are two themes that I really, really see, and I really noticed. How will you use the different concepts we've covered in University 101 during your time at KU? Strengths. The strength thing we did, like at the first 2 weeks, really made me see like who I am and what I bring to friendships and relationships with other people. So that's helped me already. So I know that'll help me for the rest of my life, especially at KU, because you build relationships and you learn and then you go on, hopefully. Social justice, I learned to always look at people equally and give everyone an opportunity and not follow stereotypes. And you just have to be a good person, everyone. Bystander awareness. Never be part of the problem, always be part of the solution. I've written papers in other classes about sexual assault on college campuses, and the numbers are way too high. And by learning what we did, being a bystander, I learned if I ever, hopefully I don't, because hopefully there's no more situations like this, but if I ever am in a situation, I will 100% guarantee you I will make sure that I will intervene and I will help in any way that I can. Sexual health education. I learned from our project that we did where we presented on different places. I learned that there's so many different things you can do. Like Watkins has so many different services offered, and there's a lot, and budget tracking, importance of sleep, everything. There's so much that we learned that it's going to help me like within my next few years at KU and then in the rest of my life. And so importance of sleep. I know that studying and everything is really important, but you need sleep. Your body needs it. You can't go on. You can't do it without it. Budget tracking. You need to be smart about what you're spending your money on, because the goal is to make money and be successful is part of the goal, obviously. And if you spend all your money, then you won't be able to do things that you want. So you need to make sure you have your money. And then research process. A lot of the databases we learned about and the different processes, along with like sources and everything else, was really interesting, and it will help me very much when I'm doing like projects and research stuff and like arguments and stuff like that. So it was really cool. My most and least favorite concept from University 101. Oh. My least favorite might have been information literacy, because it wasn't fun, but it's okay. It's what you got to do. And my favorite, I really enjoyed the strengths. I feel like it brings out good things in everyone and makes people feel good about themselves, which everyone needs. What is the greatest takeaway information you got from it? It just really taught me to be a good person, like a better person, actually. Like, everyone's got stuff going on. You need to be there and be kind and be able to intervene. You just got to be able to help people. So information, that's like my personal takeaway. Information-wise, there's always people and things to go to on campus to get help, like the Writing Center, Watkins, for any sort of thing that we need. There's tutoring, there's all sorts of studying abroad. There's always people here to help you, and that's what I learned. And this has been a very, very fun class, and I thank you very much. And I talked for 10 minutes over, so I'm sorry. Thank you.